And welcome to another episode of the BlacKingz podcast. I am your host, Dalen, alongside
Chad
and your boy Cam.
Okay, and today our topic is BlacKingz.
Hey.
What we mean by that is we're going to talk about how we got our name BlacKingz, how we decided that was the name of this podcast,
Right.
alongside what we think that really is. So, who wants to start the story?
I'll start it off. All right. So, long story short, we really couldn't even come up with no type of names. Like,
The life of us.
literally, we took 3 days straight. It could. Let me lie to the people. Okay, damn. We took 3 days, 3 long, dreadful days.
I ain't gonna lie, if I remember correctly, I thought it was just one day,
No, it was
like
a
one
week.
long session.
It was a week that we took.
I X'd everything else out of my head. I don't remember that last session when we finally got it.
They be doing me so wrong, yo.
Both of y'all was wrong. I'm coming at both of y'all.
You said Cam. You say nothing about Dalen.
I cut it out.
Dalen said one day.
And I said 3.
Well, there's only one day that mattered out of all that. So
Anyway, as I was saying, back to the story. So, it took us 3 days to finally get the name BlacKingz down. Only because Dalen was sick and tired of saying no to every damn thing. And Chad just couldn't come up with nothing. I was just like, you know what?
shit, I couldn't come up with nothing. I did come up with one
We
good
came
one, I
up
think,
with something.
but I can't even remember.
It's
I couldn't
just-
tell you what it was right now.
Do you remember, Chad?
Huh?
Do you remember any other names?
Head talk.
Head talk, you like that one?
A lot of this stuff
That
was
was one of
stuff
your
he came
ideas.
up. Now I think about it, I think that most of the list was stuff that Cam came up with.
That everybody
Well, at one
liked.
point, which is-
No,
I remember
let's
that
say
last
that
day, he was
everybody
just-
liked it.
He was
I
just
did
free
not
shooting
like head
fucking
talk.
names.
What
Headshot,
was-
head talk. Well, that was one of the, for whatever the fuck it was. You was just throwing that out just because you was tired. You was just trying to throw shit out.
I have the name still, okay?
Oh, wow. You still got this.
Look,
He pulled out the receipts on this.
Yes, I
In
did.
case he got to name something else.
Goddamn right. I have Don't Think Twice podcast. I have So Far. So What? Head Talk.
That was my least favorite.
No Pressure. Can't Relate. Creeping Hours.
No, that was my least favorite.
That was your least favorite. You like Creeping Hours?
I hated.
Dalen actually came up with that one. I swear you
know
did.
it didn't.
I swear you did.
I
who
promise
it
you I
was,
did
but I was
not.
like, I'm
I
not
swear, cause no, it came right before late night podcast.
That was your idea.
I know that one was mine, but Creeping House was still yours,
No, it was
Sound
not.
like, these sound like talk show names.
Loki. And then the last one was Same Energy.
See, because I like same energy, but it was so derivative.
I mean, it's my radio. It was my old radio show.
I was fully prepared to go with that one. I was
Of course
all right,
I
we the
was.
same
I
energy
was
podcast.
like, man, I really wish that you didn't have that fucking.
I mean, no, I was actually going, you know, just go ahead and just throw it as a podcast because
It worked perfect,
it does work.
but
I mean, but we BlacKingz that keep the same energy.
All right, we can just go with that then.
Yeah. I
But
dropped my phone.
Cam actually came over with BlacKingz.
Yes, I did.
And eventually was all like, man, you know, we've been doing this shit for this long. Might as well just go with it.
Yes.
So we ain't liking no shit else. This one kinda alright, so might as well go with
This
it.
is terrible.
It was,
This is
but
terrible.
BlacKingz was a good name because I feel like we're kings of ourselves first and foremost. But what does it really mean to be a king?
Royalty.
Royalty. You gotta elaborate on that.
Of course I can. Like, I feel like us being black young men that have passed the age of 18 and now are literally in our 20s, I feel like because we live in a society where we literally have targets on our backs and we have made it this far, I feel like we're some kings, you know. We've been through many battles, many personal battles, and we still here. So yeah, we BlacKingz,
I like that.
and ain't nobody gonna take it away from us. Keep my title, Wakanda
I
forever.
can dig it.
Wakanda forever.
I'd say more so for me, having the title BlacKingz, came after, because at first, yeah, it was like, all right, fuck it, that's the only one that really works. But after sitting down and thinking about it, like, I really do like this as our name, because I feel like I want to use this podcast as an opportunity, like, to document my process to actually becoming a king myself. Because me personally, I just don't feel I'm at that stage in my life yet.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people around our age really aren't, and like, this is our 20s is like the building blocks. We use these years to build up upon that, so we can later, be able to fully say, hey, I'm a king.
Right.
I want to use this as a documentation of a step-by-step process, so where I can finally, at one point, say, you know what, I'm a king. Look at this. I got to document my whole journey, and then I get to keep documenting it. I could truly say I'm a king, and we can document even further. I can, from the prince to the king, document that journey, and then document even further beyond that.
Lay out the blueprints.
The legend of King Dalen.
The legend of King Dalen. Man, that kind of got a little ring to it. King Dalen.
I know.
It actually got a little ring. No, like,
If only it was true.
oh my goodness.
Well,
you are a king, damn it. Even if
yet.
you don't feel like it.
Well, I feel like when it comes to are you a king or are you not a king, at the same time you have to understand some of us are more ahead in the process, and some of us have different definitions of what it means to be a king. So it kind of fits into the same thing where you say, what is success for you? I feel like it kind of goes into the same thing with that, because whereas I may be further ahead in my journey, his journey for one is different, and he may be even further ahead or even a little bit more behind than I am. So I feel like at the same time, whereas I feel like I'm a king because I'm conquering and I'm facing the things that scare me the most, which is a lot of things that I don't know about myself. Mm-hmm. For another person, it may be different, you know. So do I consider myself a king? After hearing Dalen's standpoint, I mean, like, I feel like, in a way, I feel like I'm almost there, but I don't know if I would, like, give myself the label. But I am taking pride in saying that I am royalty, and I'm a king of myself, But to say I'm a king, I'm like, there, I'm not gonna go there yet.
Okay, well,
I can do that.
let me ask y'all this.
I'm patient with it.
Everybody's journey is gonna be different.
So, what do y'all? Well, no. How do y'all know when y'all have actually became King Chad and King Dalen?
When you can,
I can't tell that. I can't tell you right now. Like, give me some time. Like, when I feel like I've achieved that, I'll be able to be like, oh yeah, this was the moment where I felt it.
Yeah.
But at this moment right now, especially since I don't feel like I am, I can't say. I can't even. I could try to predict. I feel. I could imagine that it could be like almost this relieving feeling, or like, or maybe not even more relief, because there'll still be more to do after that. So maybe it's more of like feeling prepared, like you're most prepared. Like, oh man, I'm really ready to tackle this monster called life.
Well, Chad,
At least so for me.
I would definitely say that, yo, like, for me, if I'm gonna consider myself to be a king, I would have to have reached a certain level of maturity. Most definitely. Like, I feel like to reach a standard, that's one thing, but to go beyond, it's like a certain level I have to be at to be able to call myself a king, but it's still more to it after that. But I'll say that I'm definitely a king whenever I own up to, like, my biggest fears, and I face them, and I just deal with it. Like, let's say, for example, if I wanted to start a company and I was scared to do it because I was scared that I was gonna fail, and I faced it, then I feel like I'm a king when I start to face it. Now when I actually become successful, as far as like having a multi-billion-dollar company, because not everybody gets to that point, but they still feel like they're a king, or they feel like they actually got it, because again, it's different from person to person. But I feel like for me, the standard is facing my fears and going for it anyways. And just saying, like, because God just telling me, like, yo, just go with the strength you got. I said, all right, go out there, fall on my face, but I'm still strong. And I feel like when I face those fears and I see that even that ain't strong enough to keep me down, I'm just like, yeah, I'm a king of this. I got this shit in the bag, So I would definitely say that's when I've reached it.
Hmm.
You know what just came to my mind?
What?
Like one one group of people that I think I would really like for us to associate ourselves with, and I'm gonna just speak that into existence so we can make that connection one of these days. Is get in touch with the FBMA, Faithful Black Male Association.
Oh yeah. Look, if y'all ever hear
Get
this,
that partnership.
Look.
Get this going. BlacKingz, we all
Look.
BlacKingz.
oh yeah, now we're all BlacKingz, huh?
I mean, look, it's complicated.
Uh huh.
It's very
Yeah,
complicated.
yeah, I bet it is. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like,
I've
hey,
been saying since day one.
come on, Kings.
Black
Relate.
Kings.
I could also feel like that would help me in my journey, like, be able to see some people, maybe even, find somebody that can be like, point that out. Like, oh man, that's what that looks like to me. Like that's what being a king looks like to me. That's
So
what
you
that
need
is.
to actually be able to see.
Something to aspire to. Maybe I don't have to see it because you never know. I can just happen upon it through my own work, and just one day I can look in the mirror like, oh shit, I didn't even realize this whole time. I've just been working. I didn't even realize this. Where did this crown come from?
Mm.
You just shining like that. I like that.
As far as right now, I ain't liking the nigga in the mirror right now. Black King. Wow, I don't see no Black King. I see a dirty nigga.
Damn, not a dirty nigga. Damn. Sorry to hear that. But like, I mean, when I look in the mirror, I see a king, of course. Like I see a young man who's on the way to letting the world see his crown. Because like when I look in the mirror, I see my future. I see exactly what I need to do, and I see exactly how I'll be able to show that little boy or that prince that one day you will have your own crown.
Okay, let me think all right, that makes something pop in my head. Let me cut in real quick.
All right, what's up?
All right, what do you see yourself more so as? Do you see like yourself as a prince, like a prince in waiting to take over the throne? Or do you see like yourself as someone that comes from, lower beginnings, humble beginnings, and then to one day come in and have his crown? Like what I'm thinking is what I'm trying to be.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to be that, lower end commonwealth, and be fucking militant, have my own band of marauders and storm a country and take over the kingdom. Now I'm king. That's how I want to come into my kingdom. I want to fuck some shit up.
Well, me, I feel like I'm that prince, where it's pretty much like, this is your platform.
Yeah, you're a prince. Better watch out for your kingdom. I just told you what I'm trying to do. Better
Of
watch
course.
out for your shit.
Ain't nobody fucking with my shit.
Your shit looking real nice over there.
Thank you. Anyway,
Looking real nice and right for pillaging.
psych. But I feel like my kingdom is already set up for me, and I feel like I've just been on the way to reaching my destiny, as to taking my rightful place as king. I just have to be able to go into those battles to, if one day somebody actually did try to take over my kingdom, I'd be ready.
You gonna have to be.
Of
especially
course,
if I'm coming.
of course.
Chad, what about
I'm
you?
gonna definitely say that I'm the person I'm probably gonna be the first king. I'm gonna be somebody like I'm gonna be king of something that ain't nobody ever been king of before. I don't do something different. I don't like following exactly in your footsteps. I mean, like
Right.
I go on the same, same trail path, but I'm not following in your footsteps, like exactly because I feel like the people that I have, like I'm just relaying this back to my family. Like I'm not saying that I'm not modeling certain people because I do have role models, but at the same time I feel like my father hasn't really set a way for me like my mama has. I don't even call her my mother. That's my mama. That's my mom. That's my girl. Like I love her. I feel like for me, I want to be the person that sets an example that I never had. like kind of pave a way. So I feel like I'll be a person like, who is this dude? And I'm not even from Earth. Like I just come down like boom, you know, like who is this?
Oh yeah.
And I just kind of show people things, you know, something different, something like you can still be true to yourself and be a good person with decent morals, and not be boring or stern or like, you know, you can still let loose, but like still be responsible at the same time. It doesn't have to be so chaotic, you know, to enjoy your life or to like chase that goal or do it, be successful. You know, I wanna be able to set that example, and I feel like in order to be able to set that example, I have to get past
Your fears?
I have to get past my obstacles and my fears, and eventually get to a place where I'm successful in myself. You know, and I feel like it's really like it's just as simple for me. Just like do what I gotta do and show people like, yo, I did something people told me I could never do, and here I am doing something, breaking generational curses, doing stuff that nobody in my family ever did yet. So, just let me feel. And when I say family, I mean immediate family, like
Of course.
Oh, yeah.
like family.
So from what I'm getting from this is that we all feel like we got separate paths, like, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with each of these individual paths. Like me and Chad were like with the examples of, you know, this fake, you know, world that we created, you know, coming from lower birth and then creating something, or well, Chad was creating something, me taking something, and then
Yeah, I'm
Chad,
malicious. Yeah,
and
he
Chad,
over here just like, yeah,
not
keep
Chad,
it.
you boy, Cam, you being the prince
Boy, I
that's
gotta be a boy.
going to inherit. There's nothing
Boy, I
wrong with
gotta be a
any of
boy.
those, you know, because you know, Chad, you say you don't want to follow in footsteps. You know, that's always great to always want to forge your own path, but and like also, I don't think there's nothing wrong with like having that blueprint at the very least. You know?
That's why I was saying I was just relating to family because again, I do have role models. You know, and when I say role models, I'm not even just talking about my mama, even though she is my biggest role model.
Oh yeah.
And that's where I get a lot of my feminine energy from, and I'm very in touch with that. But like when it comes to like men, I do have certain men that I follow. Like my grandpa, he actually taught me a lot of things. Like he taught me how to farm. He taught me how to take responsibility for my actions. My old band director taught me discipline and all that stuff like that, and how to like maintain like a certain posture, you know. So I feel like, you know, I do have that, but at the same time, I feel like it's a lot of things that people haven't taught me when it comes to like the stuff that I got from my mama that actually applies to being a man. Because, you know, everybody has some type of masculine energy in them already as is. So I feel like the masculine energy I got from my mama is something that I can still teach kids down the line. And that's why like society didn't really teach me a lot of the stuff that I know, because at the same time, a lot of stuff was stuff that I had to follow my face and learn.
Yeah.
At the same time, that's stuff that I got from my mama, which is part of society. Again. I still can relate to somebody else, and I can still teach my message to somebody else, which is something different. Because a lot of stuff that comes, if it comes from a woman, a lot of the times, you just be real, just keep it real. A lot of people don't listen to women like they should.
Yeah.
And, you know, I feel like if I relate it, I can actually be able to spread something that rarely ever got heard.
Okay. I like that. I feel like those are two big pieces to, you know, being a black king, being in control of those two forces. The discipline, having that for one, and two, being in touch with that feminine side, because there's always a balance that you have to have within yourself. You know, from one person that I kind of look up to and I follow his content, Charlamagne the God. He always speaks about the divine masculine and the divine feminine, and striking your balance between both for each person. So I kind of want to get into that, like those two things. Like Cam, give me what you feel like you learned these two forces from. One, your sense of femininity, to be able to be in touch with your feminine side, and also where you've learned discipline, if you've learned either one of those.
Well, me literally being the only child, and you know, me having my mom and my dad literally my whole life, I feel like a lot of lessons I've learned by watching,
Yeah,
and
I can relate to that.
a lot of lessons I've learned by actually doing, because my daddy literally have been telling me this since the day I was born. Experience is the best teacher. So
Yeah.
literally, you're gonna have to hit your head a few times just so you know, hey, nobody's not gonna give you nothing.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to go and get it. And that, like, I feel like that comes from like my masculinity side. Like, have your plan, stick with it regardless if you win or lose. Now, on the other side, on my feminine side, like, I feel like my mama taught me the game of life. Like, she pretty much, she kept me spiritually in order, and my dad, he kept me brutally in order, if that makes sense. Like,
Expound on that. Go.
yeah, I am, yeah. So
Explain brutally.
I'm gonna get to it. So my mama, she pretty much was one of those, church going women. Like, she helped me find my favorite verse, which is James 2:26. Faith without works is dead. And that literally helped me go through a whole lot, especially with her timely death. And it helped me pretty much understand that life is very short. So you're going to have your good and you're going to have your bad. But as long as you pray and know that you are God's kid, you are the King's kid, you'll be fine. And she pretty much kept me in my feminine route of being able to express myself. And with my dad, he literally taught me how to express myself brutally, which is the other side. So as far as that, it's like my daddy, he's always been one of those go get it, if you really want it, go get it type. Like the life you live is only gonna be what you make of it.
Yeah.
You get out of life what you put into it. So if you really want to make it, if you really want this kingdom, go get it. And if you really want to keep it, you gonna go keep it. You gonna put in your 110 to get it.
Okay.
Regardless of who you gotta kill and who you gotta destroy.
Okay. So you're saying that side that you got from your dad, you're saying that's what your discipline is? So that's where your discipline is from? Okay.
I used to get my ass whooping from my mama and daddy. Both. Mostly my mama, and never mind, I'm not gonna speak about that. Those cases are still open. Anyway,
but you're saying those those two would be your biggest sources for where you learned your discipline from.
Of course, yeah. My parents, yeah.
Okay. For me, I feel for one, when it comes to discipline, yeah, of course, you always gonna learn that discipline from your parents coming up. But I say the biggest example of discipline that I got was playing football. Because that's one of the biggest things that I remember. That was one of the biggest terms I remember when I was back in playing football in high school. Was discipline. I had a discipline to not have that little movement that get you called offsides. I had that discipline. Stay. Learn the plays. Learn what you need to do. Learn anything that has to affect you, or just to play overall. Film study and just small mannerisms like that. The biggest examples of that I learned from playing football. Like my coaches taught me discipline. I say that would be my biggest example. But of course, you always learn discipline from your parents. And as far as being in touch with my feminine side, I feel like the biggest influence of that came from also growing up, around my family, because family get-togethers, everybody's there. I have a pretty big family, so when we all get together, it's a thing. The classic: the women are inside, the men outside. The men outside cooking, grilling, talking their bullshit, and the women are inside talking their bullshit, also cooking. Everybody's just doing their thing and connecting. I feel like I struck. If I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if I struck a balance with it. I feel like I spent a little bit more time inside with the women, especially when I was like younger. As I got older, I started going out more, to be, with the men. I guess that's a natural progression of things. You want that coddling of your mother, as a younger.
You want to let go.
But more so, let me stay on topic to the feminine, like just being around that energy, women, especially when you get a group of women, especially, when it's your family, they get around, they get to talking about all kinds of shit,
Yeah, right.
And plus, I feel like that's helped me become kind of a bit of a nosy person because listen to the hot gossip, the tea, if you
Not
will.
the tea, sis. Not
The tea,
tea.
the tea, sir, big sir. But yeah, I feel like that's the biggest influence of like to be in touch with my feminine side. I saw that from being around the women in my family, and I feel like that's still being added to every day. By not only about like my mother specifically, or just the women I have around me in my life, like my friends, my female friends specifically. Like, I wouldn't know what the hell to be like, so like shit like that if it wasn't for them. I feel like in a way that is being in touch with my feminine side.
Especially the period poos that come out of your mouth, man.
Period poo. Like, just to be comfortable with yourself and be able to be in touch with your feminine side. Be comfortable in your masculinity as well to be able to, joke around like that. Like, do the snaps like, so like that shit. Like, it's just being in good fun. There's no serious behind it. I feel like that's what being in touch with the feminine side is all about.
I be having like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm one of those men. They be having a hard time low-key tapping into his feminine side.
Oh yeah, because the way we were, if we want to be specific, the way we were raised, although we did get feminine energy from when we were being raised, at the same time we were being basically told, don't do that shit.
Of course.
Like you see it's there for you to see. We still learn from it, but like we were told, don't do that shit.
Yeah, like for example, Kevin Hart, when he was talking about his son, he was talking about, if you see a son out there doing some gay shit, he can be like, hey, stop, that's gay.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure right now, if his son came to him saying like, Dad, I think I'm gay, it'd be a completely different story.
Of course.
But that's just with personal growth and
right.
with people in general. But we can't lie about that. The way we were raised is definitely like, yeah, none of that shit. Like some of the shit,
it was
like if I would have did some of the shit, someone make some of the jokes I make now with that, being in touch with my feminine side, quote unquote, like making those types of jokes. Take me back then when I was younger, that shit would not have been tolerated. Not even from the women in my family. That shit would not have been tolerated. I mean, to be honest, I don't joke like that from my family anyway. No. That's a whole different.
It's different
type.
Times now.
Yeah,
like then.
It's crazy. Like it feel like nowadays it pulls you further and further away from your family and like the people that you grew up with. That's your blood. That's not like, I guess it's from the examples that I see, because a lot of people, especially on the internet, I see examples of people that hate their family, which is so far from my ideas, because I fucking love my family. I'm a very big family person. I've never brought a girl to meet my family. Like, and that would be a big step for me, because
I've done it 3 times.
I can't do it haphazardly, to me, because like it's gonna sound bad because it shouldn't be such a big determining factor, but I can't help for the fact that it is. Like I really, really, really want, to have somebody that meshes well with my family, for my family to like them, and really for them to like my family. My family is a lot to take in. They come on strong. That's why I love them. I feel like that's what a lot of people's families, especially when it comes to stuff like that. And in my case specifically, I feel like my family just been waiting for me to bring somebody home. Like, cause they, coming up, they all ask me, well, especially since I came to college, we were like, what them little girls are coming up to? You just don't know. I'm literally talking to nobody. But
and then if you do bring one home, it's like they literally get stuck on them. Literally. Like,
oh my God. Oh Lord, let my family think. Let me be on the phone and my people think it's like a girl that I don't like talking to. Hey, it already happened. You remember?
Yeah.
I mean, one time she had me on a group call. It was me, her. These are people that we know from early college years.
Yeah.
And they were trying to get D on the phone. They were trying to get him on the phone, but I don't think he ever answered. And I'm on a whole group call. My family, my cousins coming up, all up to the phone while it's up to my ear, like, "Hey, cousin," and shit like that. That's but that's just all in fun. That's just being a family, kind of tugging at you like that. But it is it's just crazy. Like to think that I know they're ready to finally see me bring somebody. Because like sometimes I feel like they just too ready.
They be ready to jump them in.
Yeah, like
Come on in.
Whose birthday
Come
was
on in.
I just went home to last time. It was a family member's birthday, and we went to walk-ons. And I'm holding my cousin's baby. She just had a baby, and I'm holding him. I'm like, just playing with him. And one of my other cousins, he called out to me and was like, "You gonna have to get ready for one of them soon." I'm like, "Hell no, I don't need none of that no time soon." I say that, but low key, if I did get somebody pregnant right now, I want a daughter. I want a little girl.
Oh. First one.
Oh yeah,
First
I
one.
want that to be my first one.
Me too.
Oh my God, I want a little girl. I mean, here's what the best case scenario for that to happen is not for me to have a baby, it's for my brother to have a baby. I'm not ready to be a parent, but I can sure be an uncle, because that's all the fun without none of the responsibilities.
Yes, it really is.
You can spoil the baby from a distance.
Yep, I can spoil it from a distance. I don't have to deal with none of the repercussions.
No.
I can teach them all kinds of bad shit.
And they don't have to deal with it later.
I don't have to deal with it until they find out that I'm the one that taught it to them.
You can't prove it.
Exactly.
You can't prove it. We never had this conversation.
I can definitely speak that, like, as an uncle, you really do get to see the most. Oh my God, this is the most beautiful thing ever. Oh my God, my niece just turned 1, like, this month, and she just got her ears pierced and everything, man. Just looking at her, it's the happiest thing ever. And I'm just like, man, when she started crying, I'm just like, man, I'm glad that ain't mine. I ain't gotta go.
I thought you better go somewhere else with it. I
Nah,
thought you were like, she was crying like, who did it?
I'm just like, yeah, it's a good thing. Like, the kids, they all, it's all cute. Just you wanna, but at the same time, it's just like, man, I don't want to have to deal with changing them diapers and all that staying.
I can't deal with no shitty booty.
Like, listen to my sister in a way. She kind of used to it because she got 3 kids, 2 boys and a girl. The little girl is the youngest one. And I'm just listening like, man, I don't know if I could do all that. Like, that actually scared me away from kids, because I wanted kids at once. But I was just like, man, I'm just wait till they turn like 10 to adopt something. Just get over it.
Oh man, I know it's supposed to be BlacKingz, but fuck it. Let me fantasize having a daughter real quick. Like I want to do everything. Like for the earliest, give it to me. I'll learn how to do everything. I want to be that dad. I want to learn how to do the hair, do all that, and let me take care of all that, and then when they hit puberty and they get their first period, that's when you go to your mama. All right,
of course,
get the fuck out. Go to your mama.
I got your back, until you die. But when you first cycle,
honestly, that'd be the best thing to do, because I can't educate no little girl. No matter what kind of books or online articles I read, I can't educate my daughter on a period.
Experience is the best teacher.
Exactly.
Send it to her mama. Ship her.
When you stop bleeding, you can come back.
I don't have the experience, but I did grow up with 3 women, so I dealt with 3 periods, 3 different cycles. So
see, that's crazy.
I can tell you, I know a couple of things, but some
Oh,
things I'm just
no.
like no.
Wait, so you were outnumbered 3-1.
It was no, I had a little brother too, so it's 2 to 3.
Okay.
Well, I have not had, but it was 2 to 3, and I can tell you that it was a lot of estrogen going on in that house at all times. At all times, it was constant, always somebody in their feelings, always somebody doing this, and eventually I got I'm already a really emotional person.
You caught it. You caught the
I caught the E. E for estrogen, E for emotion.
Yeah.
I know me and Kev, we could relate on it, because we outnumbered our mothers. You had your mom 2 to 1. I had my mom 3 to 1.
Of course, yeah.
It was a lot of testosterone in our household.
I mean,
So that's what makes it interesting. I want to hear more about that. Like, what's it like to be outnumbered?
Yeah.
What's it like to be at a disadvantage?
I'm over here looking like, man, how does
in
it
the
feel
sex
to have
war?
Look like, how does it feel to have a sibling?
Then
Oh yeah, you are his only child. That's unfortunate.
as a sibling, I can
no
tell
more.
you there's a lot of rivalry, but it's a
Ain't
lot
gotta
of finding out where you strong and where you weak at, and where you start to depend on them for certain things, and you kind of learn to do it on your own. Kind of get that autonomy. But growing up in a house with a bunch of ladies, it's difficult because you kind of have to deal with how different all of the women are already, because it's like a three almost completely different chicks in your house.
They are. They're their own people, so they are.
It is like some people put up with certain things and some people don't. So it's like you have to kind of learn to navigate without ticking somebody else off by making somebody else feel good. Let's say, for example, my little sister likes to have fun and make a lot of noise, but my older sister didn't like all that noise. So like growing up, it was kind of hard, but like when my big sister moved out, it was kind of like chaos more so, because she was kind of the stability in the house, being that she was the oldest one and she was a girl, which is what all of us want. It would be perfect, but it was a lot of just minding my business, to be honest, or trying my best to mind my business, and I always end up getting sucked in, because they'll come to me like, oh, Chad, such and such just made me mad. I'm just like, what happened? They just like, they da-da-da-da-da. They start crying. I'm just like, man, now I got to go confront them. Yeah, like, I just kind of ended up trying to mind my business, but ended up confronting people on everything. And sometimes that would make the situation worse. Yep. And worst thing you can do with a woman is make the situation worse, because then they're going to take that and it's going to go, it's just going to blow up out of proportion.
10 to 15.
Yeah, and it's 10 to 1,000. Just that fast. And man, it just gets really, really, it gets easier, but at the same time, I can admit that there was a lot of stuff going on at once at almost all times. Like a lot of arguments, a lot of silent treatment. I don't know what's the deal with that, but a lot of, I don't even want to talk about it, and just locking yourself away. And
all right, take me back to the Chad household, the Johnson household.
The Johnson. What was the story? What was the stuff?
Keep it up with the Johnson. Oh wait, the strange things about the Johnson.
First, we're not going to talk about that on this podcast at any time, because that's bullshit.
For anybody that doesn't know about the movie, it's a movie about a son that's fucking his dad.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on.
Why the fuck did you even open up that damn door? Because that shit. Anyway, all right. Chad, what you saying?
Okay, so Chad, take me into the Johnson household.
I mean,
stop saying Johnson.
Very young
name
Chad.
is Thomas.
Thank you. Stop saying Johnson.
Oh wow.
He kept saying Johnson. I'm like,
take me
family vacation.
Take me into the Thomas household.
Thomas and one Allen. My little brother's last name is Allen because it's my dad's last name. But
take me into that household. Growing up, little baby Chad. What was the first time you accidentally found a tampon?
Baby Chad was terrible. You see me now?
Head.
You see me now? Imagine him with like
my question.
an eighth of the self-control. Yeah.
Throw the whole baby away.
But honestly, I was a good kid. I was good. Like,
return this one.
Like,
can we return this one?
Exactly.
When I say self-control, I mean like I had like a really quick mouth as a kid. Like a lot of times people be like, "Oh, he got a smart mouth," but since I was such a stupid kid, I was just kind of be like, "Oh, thank you," because I'm thinking they calling me intelligent.
Oh wow,
that's that damn street boy mentality he got over there.
That's a little kid in mentality, not knowing shit, and just be like, "Oh, thank you.
You so stupid." Aw, thank you.
Thanks, but like, I kind of like I've always been the type to just speak my mind. Like, that was one thing about me that's always been a thing. So whenever I stopped doing it, it kind of did take a toll, but I still didn't lie. I still told her how it was, and like even growing up, like I would lie to get out little things. Like I'm gonna be like, "Who broke my damn face?" I'd be like, "Zamar." My little brother did shit.
Boy, you ain't shit.
Huh?
Boy, you ain't shit.
So take me that first moment, little baby Chad stumbling upon a tampon for the first time. What did you do?
Oh, we don't talk about stumbling upon things. It wasn't a tampon.
What did we stumble upon?
Porn.
Oh, I thought it was. I was ready for the worst. I was going to say a 12-inch dildo.
That too.
Oh hell no!
It wasn't 12 inches. It was like 6.
Wow. Well, see.
I mean, hey, y'all ask for honesty.
See, this is like
I was wondering. In my mind, I hit a blue screen moment because I was like, do I make the joke? Do I make this joke? But nah, moments passed.
What's going on?
All right.
But I was a really, really good kid. Like I was a teacher. I was a teacher's pet. who minded his business for the most part when he was in class. Didn't really talk much. When I went home, I only talked to a couple of people in the household. I never really fooled my brother like talking about it unless he was playing outside or something. But our dynamic was more so like not really on the communication side. It was more so like doing stuff together. If we talk, it's always gonna be an argument. So I just learned to kind of just do stuff with him and talk to my sisters. Household was pretty hectic. I have a couple of stories of us getting in trouble and getting. Well, we didn't get beat for it. Well, we did sometimes, but like for the most part, we got like just a couple, like a little.
How do you
don't
share
do that.
ass whooping?
Oh man.
That sounds like it's very easy. I never experienced that, but it
Man,
sounds like it
my mom
very easy
would,
to happen.
How
my
do you
mom
have
would
the
try
strength?
her best. My mom would try her best not to take out her rage on us, and she'll try to beat us with like a little bit more grace, you know, like
Exactly.
A graceful ass
I'm
beat.
over here like, where's
graceful ass beating.
I'm over here like, where's that? Where'd you
I mean,
find
like, cause I've had times where like she would kind of let go, and I'd be like, damn, do she even love me? But like sometimes it'd be like, okay, I see why she beat my ass, cause I shouldn't have did what I did. You know, and like I feel like I didn't get my ass beat sometimes. Like a lot of people say spankings are bad, but I'm just like, if I didn't get that ass beaten, I would be terrible today.
Man.
And I just know I would, because I'm looking back on how I was, and I wouldn't have learned those lessons. Like growing up, I didn't really have much, so it's not really much you can take from me and have me like, oh man, I wish I had my. I didn't have a phone until I was like 15, so
Yeah.
like what could you take from me? Like, and even by then, that's when I stopped getting whoopings. So whenever whenever I had something that she could take away, then she stopped giving me whoopings. But household was really like, it was crazy. I love my family though. Like we got in all kinds of shit. Like I'm like a lot of the stuff that we got in trouble for wasn't really with our mama though. It was like one day, cause we grew up on like a hill. It was like literally a hill, and like it was some stairs beside it, and then it was like a little flat thing, and then some more stairs that lead into the house. And we was up on like the flatter part, like picking up dirt out the ground and throwing it at people's cars while they was driving down the street. And this one lady came back, she was like, did y'all just throw a fucking dirt ball in my car? It was just like,
You little badass motherfucker.
Wow.
You know,
She
you
knew
know
your
when I
name?
say
she didn't
jigaboos,
know us.
those
Oh.
that's
Got
some
the
jigaboo activity.
Yeah, we was real. I mean, we did grow up in like, we didn't grow up in a ghetto or street poor, but we grew up in a hood, you know, like, for all the
Which part?
badass Lakeside,
Oh.
over there on Murphy.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'll pretend like I know what that means.
I mean, like, you could hear gunshots,
It's-
but it
I was
wasn't on
gonna
our
say,
street. It was like,
It wasn't
on
like
our block.
the ghetto, like the slums. It was the hood.
It was just the hood.
It
like,
was the neighborhood, literally.
you had the badass kids, you had the barbecues, like,
Yeah.
typical black people stuff. And, you know, we ain't really fool with nobody, so I'm not gonna say that it was this big community and blah, 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 blah. But, what the fuck was that? But it was nice, you know. Didn't really hear gunshots too close to the house, I guess.
Yeah.
But it was a fun time growing up over there. It was both fun, but it had its times, you know. Like looking back at it, like realistically and objectively, my childhood wasn't like terrible. I just wasn't rich, you know.
Yeah. Okay. I like that. That's a nice little
There was a
story.
good parts of my childhood.
Oof. Say the bad parts. Those are for later episodes. Gotta say the sauce.
You gotta say the gossip.
Now, Cam,
He gone. What's up?
take me back to little Cam, little baby Cam.
Growing up by
take
himself.
me inside the Campbell home.
Oh shit.
When was the first time you
All I know
stumbled
is
upon a tampon? I'm just kidding. All right.
I was gonna say,
I'm just being fair because I
what?
asked him that question. So, but okay, take me into the Campbell household. Little baby Cam.
Which part? Because I used to move around a lot. Like I used to move a lot.
Let's start from the first one.
We'll be here all day for that. All right. So well, when I first started school, there was a school in Shreveport called Sunset Acres.
Ooh, child.
Yeah. I went to Sunset Acres, and we didn't stay there long. I think our house got robbed or something like that, and we dipped. Then we went into
Been y'all shit kicked up?
was gone.
Well, still a kick though. Or did they kick in you though?
We was gone. I don't know. I mean, I was young.
You don't remember? You don't remember coming home, your door wide open because it's been kicked in?
I was that young.
That was like elementary.
That was the elementary school. I was that young.
Part.
Exactly. I was that young. I don't remember.
Oh,
All I know is
That sounds like a traumatic event. Like, I don't remember much from my elementary school years, but I remember like how my house looked. Well, that's because
I don't remember.
I mean,
I told you we moved around a lot.
Okay.
So we moved right by a Super One grocery store when I went to Sunset Acres. And then we ended up moving down the street in another area, and we got robbed there too. So my mom and dad is like, fuck this shit, we go. So we went to the suburbs.
Just keep on making yourselves easy targets. What's the fun?
No.
What's the problem?
We're in the hood. We're in the hood and we're trying to live good, but you can't.
Don't
So
stay
we
there for
gotta
more than 5. Don't stay there more than 2 years.
Oh, we stayed maybe a year. The second location we
Don't even stay that long.
yeah.
Stay there for
Like,
as little as you can.
My daddy literally told me that if you stay in the hood, prepare to get your shit robbed. And that was like after we got up out the hood and moved to where we currently live, which is a better neighborhood, but it's starting to low-key become ghetto. But I mean, it's Shreveport. It's gonna happen eventually.
Your whole city just dangerous.
Not really.
Shit, we got hit up like 5+ times.
Yikes.
Oh, I mean,
I kind of got used to it.
You got used to getting hit.
I
up.
got used to people taking from the house, but people take stuff from me personally. I'm just like, all right, who did it? We about to fight, and we fought.
Run it.
Yeah, like I got tired of it. Well, it wasn't even like I got tired of it. It was just like I never did like it. Like I was tired of it before it even happened. Like don't take nothing from me, because I was already a stingy kid. So we about to box as soon as I found out. And I did more than box. I kicked. I did anything just to get you on the ground. I stumped you. That was what I did.
Well, Cam, go more in depth.
Okay.
What was the household? What was that household
I want to
dynamic?
get into the household part.
Yeah, go into the household dynamic.
Okay. Well. Like where I currently stay now.
In the suburbs.
Yeah, it's the suburbs, but I stay in a better area than I stay. I'm not the hood. I'm gonna just say that.
That's good.
I'm not the hood. Yeah. So we big living, better living. I seen better houses, but we're better living than now. And so when I first moved over there, I went to Summer Grove Elementary School, and this was like 2nd grade. So this is actually, we moved over there our spring break, so it's in March of whatever 2nd grade year I was in. But anyway, when we first moved over there, I found out that my neighbors at the time, some of those kids went to the same school as me.
Yeah.
So we all had walked there, and there was a guy who was, pretty much younger than me.
I was like, oh, you remember this nigga?
Bad ass little boy, but that was my nigga. But he was like that little ass kid that you couldn't tell shit, and you just see, the reason why he would literally get his ass whooped every day because he kept doing dumb shit, and you not understanding.
At school? Remember that was a thing you can get whooped at school?
Oh,
This is a minor side note.
Oh, I got stories about
paddle.
those too.
I wish somebody would.
Man, I wish a teacher would ever paddle me. I told my mama this straight up to her face. I was like, Mama, if a teacher ever whooped me, I would have put my hands on them. She was like, No, you wouldn't. I said, Yes, I was.
Well, probably they always say that because, like, if they do paddle you, they only did it because they had the permission from your parents.
But even if they had permission from my parents, you're not gonna do it. I'm not gonna let you do that to me. If I'm not finna let little Bobby over here beat my ass, I don't give a damn. You grow. You gotta pop me to stop me.
I guess that's the Shreveport mentality.
It's not a Shreveport mentality. It's not bad as hell. It's just
because growing up, I respected my elders.
I did too, but you have to respect me as well. You're not gonna just put your hands on me.
I'm gonna be honest. Do children deserve respect?
Yes.
Like they deserve to be. They deserve to be heard. They deserve to be heard. They deserve to be understood.
One day we're gonna be up and gone.
Heard and listened to. They do deserve that. they deserve those rights. But you know, they don't. They can't speak like talking back to grown adults as a little child.
That's different. What they saying back to them?
And I guess it also does depend on what is being said to them.
Yeah, because you can
Like
be,
if
you can be talking stupid to a child, and
I'm just thinking more so of me.
Think
I'm more
about
so
the times.
breezed. I'm
I
more
was about
so
to say-
breezed through life, so nobody ever really said anything bad to me, like a teacher or nothing. Because what was they gonna say to me? I wasn't doing shit in the first place.
Yeah, because I wasn't a bad kid. I was just a tad bit rebellious. Because I feel like my morals kind of aligned with the rules.
But that's what I think I'm more so of going towards. Because you said the only reason you have the opportunity to get paddled by teachers is if you already did something bad. You already got in trouble. Like you already did something to get in trouble.
But sometimes
To
you
warrant
gotta
a punishment.
my parents was gonna be the one to put their hands on me.
But that's more so what I'm saying. Like, I guess I worded that terribly. Not to say that they shouldn't have rights, but like some form of punishment. And it just depends on parent to parent, kid to kid, because not everybody's going to do that. I was more on lackadaisical, so I just rolled with whatever. I didn't say anything to adults. I barely say anything to anybody, at least negatively. You know, that just wasn't my vibe growing up. But continue. This is more so on you right now. Go.
Yeah.
You know,
So when I first moved over to where I currently stay, it was literally the very first time I ever seen somebody get knocked the fuck out. And
I've never seen that live, by the way. But keep
I've
going.
seen somebody get knocked the fuck out.
It's actually scary for me.
It was funny as fuck for me because I was young.
Cam, you is a badass.
I'm sorry. But that shit was funny. But anyway, the story goes like this. So, to our bus stop, which was like around the corner. And one day, it was cloudy and it was raining a little bit. But it was like a small little drizzle. So, my little nerdy ass at the time, I was over there at the bus stop, you know, just trying to fix my umbrella because it was tripping. And I ended up breaking my shit. So, you know how when you undo the umbrella, you know, it go up? Yeah, my shit flipped over. Yeah. It was that type of weather outside. So, I'm over here trying to fix my umbrella.
I thought you said this was a little drizzle.
It was like it's about to rain, but it's not really about to rain.
But the wind blowing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but I was also fucking with it, and I was doing too much.
Yeah.
But anyway,
At least you can admit it.
of course, I can't admit it now, but at the time, But all I saw was this older guy, this taller guy. He was probably maybe, I'm gonna say 6'2", and he was in middle school. And my neighbor was in high school at the time, but he was pretty much Chad's height, but he was
5'8".
straight. He was straight swole. He was swole up there. So apparently, the older guy, the taller guy, his name was DeAndre, and it's crazy. I remember all this shit because I remember like it was yesterday. But the guy DeAndre had thought Anthony had stole some money from him. Exactly. I don't know how. I don't know why. But DeAndre was saying that he dropped some money and he thought Anthony stole it. And he didn't. And you know, all of a sudden, since DeAndre thought he had height on Anthony, he was, you know, go ahead and try to punk him. Anthony said, So DeAndre started pushing Anthony, and I'm gonna just tell you the age difference. It was probably 16 or 17, and the guy was probably 13 or 14, but he had height on him, and he thought he was, you know, since he was up there, you know, Mr. Get Bad, you know, thought wouldn't nobody bully him.
Yeah.
So turned around his brain and tried to walk away. And I swear, my little nerdy ass hit a 360, and for some reason, the wind just hit a little harder for me because I was light. And I turned around, and all I saw was rapping this dude. And when I say, like, he rapped him, and he went on his knees and fell asleep, That's when I knew I'm in the right neighborhood.
The right neighborhood.
I'm in the right damn.
Where you can find yourself in these situations.
Oh no, I wasn't gonna get in the damn situations. Oh fuck that. I just knew
You don't
That's
have
my
control
neighbor.
over that sometimes. You don't know
Well,
what you can find yourself in.
no, fuck that. I had a bodyguard.
I think that's what you meant more to say.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking you meant more to
Yeah,
say.
hell yeah, shit. I had a bodyguard now because, like, I literally seen swing one time and knocked his ass clean the fuck out. Like, you know, like on Friday, how Smokey, you know, he'll walk over me, you know, he'd be like, damn, you got knocked the fuck out.
Uh-huh.
That was literally one of those moments. And they would always walk his little sister, who was the same age as Orlando, and Orlando was probably, I'm gonna say, 5 or 6 at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So she was trying to wake him up. She was trying to wake him up, talking some DeAndre, get up. So she over there crying and shit, and everybody
She thought her brother died.
she did. So she was pushing. I mean, you know, she was trying to wake him up, and she ran to the house screaming, "I think he's asleep." So the bus came, and this is how I realized I wasn't shit. At the age of 8, we all looked at him. We all looked at the bus, stepped over his ass.
I'm gonna say
And got on the
regular
bus.
schedule program. That ain't being that shit.
No, because like
Let's go back to the regular schedule program.
we like literally like we all saw his ass. We stepped over his ass and got on the bus, and everybody didn't say shit. And Anthony
Ain't
walked to the
shit.
house, and that's when I realized I am in the right neighborhood because one, his mom had asked me and my little neighbor, and we both was like, well, long story short, guy was talking shit, wouldn't leave him alone, and he got knocked the fuck out.
Yeah.
The end. So that's when I realized whatever happens in the neighborhood stays in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Now I learned that next door.
I was sure to have a quick disclaimer. Like for anybody listening, Cam is an only child. So even though I said household dynamic, most of the experience came from outside of the home because he had to go out to be around people.
Oh, of course. Like, because I did not have brothers and sisters, like, of course I learned a lot inside my own house.
Mm-hmm.
But the real stories and adventures of how I became who I am today literally came from outside.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was one of those neighborhood kids, you know. I come knock on your door, little thick ass glasses, little skinny ass boy. Tell myself, hey, can so and so come outside? Yeah, I was one of those.
What a reversal. Skinny ass glasses, thick ass. Well, let me decide. I stopped at thick ass.
What's
No,
that?
I'm not talking about his little ass. I'm calling him fat.
What was that supposed to be funny?
Yes, I laughed. Chad laughed. You're just not the only one that laughed because it was directed at you.
See, because
I'm grown now.
I'm sorry.
I'm a king.
But continue, keep on going. But I'm sorry if I interrupted you.
Fuck you. Anyway, as I was saying,
Shit either, David.
What you mean?
he already know he ain't
I'm
shit.
an angel.
You're ass.
I'm an angel.
You're
Different.
ass. You're ass. Anyway, but I realized from a young age, growing up where I stay now, life is funny.
That's fuck.
It is.
Life is really funny. It's fun, and you really have to take, those gut punches, whether they be good or bad, and you just gotta roll with them. So it's like, whatever happens in life, you just gotta roll with it.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, I feel like this is a good stopping point.
Yeah, I feel like this was a good episode.
It was real good.
Yeah.
So, I guess that's it.
Yeah. So it's been another episode of BlacKingz podcast with Cam,
Dalen.
And Chad.
All right. We'll see y'all motherfuckers next week.
All right.
Don't get caught beating your meat, and
Stay out the street.
yeah, stay out the street.
Unless you want to get caught with the heat.
Shut your ass up. This nigga that came
La, la,
through the
la,
background. Oh hell no! Look, we'll catch y'all next week. We'll catch y'all next week. We gonna catch y'all next week with another episode of the BlacKingz podcast. We love y'all. We out.